All right, Run Better Project, episode 4. We've talked about kind of the whole general theory of running. We've talked about posture. We've taken that posture and applied it to using foot contact and staying springy. Now we're going to really turn that from hopping into running with leaning forward. And that might sound so simple, just lean forward, but it has a little bit of nuance to it, and I'm going to take you through kind of what we did last time and then just adding a little bit of lean and give you a couple drills to work on to be able to apply this so that when you run, you can fall forward and really do it efficiently. This is really the second part of efficiency. First is kind of that foot contact, making sure we're using the springs that our body has for us to be able to be efficient when we're running and use all of the energy, not waste it. And then the other thing is to be able to just lean your body so that the fall, so that gravity is helping you here. You're not having to do everything yourself. Okay, so last time we talked about this good posture, getting set up with all that, and then hopping. Okay, and once you have that, then literally all I'm going to do is lean forward, but I want to be really specific about what I mean by lean. Because when I say lean forward, I don't mean bend at the waist or at the hip. This is what generally people do to some degree when they go for a run. They're out there and they're running, and I don't have a ton of runway here to show you what I mean, but you know, they've got a bend at their hips and they're like all leaning forward, their chest is up, they're kind of overextended here, and they're leaning like that, rather than being in one piece, which is what I want, like we talked about in the posture video, and then I want to actually lean forward so that I would fall. Because if I bend at the hip, I don't fall, my weight is not shifted forward. I want to move forward, so I want to actually lean my entire body. So I don't have the Michael Jackson smooth criminal move, but that's what would be called for here, is that hinging forward at the ankle. That's where I want to actually lean forward. So here is our drill number 1 to start to practice this, which is just hopping, and then we're going to tilt the entire body forward, just a couple degrees, very, very small. But what you'll find is that hopping, that nice efficient bouncy hopping or jumping on 2 feet that we did last time, bouncing, turns into a forward movement. So here I am. I'm back here, got my nice posture. I'm just going to start with bouncing like we did last time, staying tight, staying back, staying tucked. And then all I'm going to do is just lean forward, but lean from the bottom. Looks like this. So when I do that, hopefully the tape will show. You know, looked back at some of these videos I've done, thought, oh, that doesn't look that good. But hopefully the tape will show that my hips stay extended, my posture stays good and tall, and I'm actually tilting the entire thing forward. So again, I'm bouncing, and then I actually lean the entire, my glutes stay on. I'm staying extended. Oh, watch out for that crack. So that's the kind of first part of the drill. Second part, we want to be able to modulate that lean. So I'm going to go forward, I'm going to stop. I'm going to go forward, I'm going to stop. I'm back here, tight, good posture. I'm bouncing. My heels are touching the ground every time. I'm not super tight and rigid, but I'm solid. I'm leaning forward, and then I stop. I'm leaning forward, and I stop. So I'm keeping my glutes engaged. I'm doing that really from the ankle. And that modulates how much I move forward. And I can try different amounts of lean. If I start and I really lean forward, I go fast. And I stop. We don't quite want that much. So I'm just bouncing, leaning, stop. All right. So now we've got 2 feet. Now we want to do 1 foot. So I am going to just get into my single foot position here. And I want to work on just bouncing on 1 foot. Let me switch sides so it's a little easier to see. I'm bouncing, I lean forward, I stop. I lean forward, and I stop. And again, I'm working on staying extended, keeping my hip extended, keeping my lower back neutral. I don't want to bend forward, I don't want to slouch forward. I want one solid piece. Bounce, lean forward, stop. Lean forward, stop. All right, so once we have that, now we're just gonna do 3 on each, and we're gonna switch back and forth. So I start here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm just switching, just using my hamstring to pull my swing leg up towards my butt. And then I lean forward. So that's one. Then we just do 2 hops rather than 3. So here I am. 1, 2. This is also known as skipping. And every time I switch legs, I'm boom, getting into extension on the stance side, and I'm snapping that heel up towards my butt on the swing side. So again, it's from here, 1, 2, boom, switch, 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 switch. And then I'm staying extended as I fall forward, because I am flexing one hip. So I'm going to have to flex one hip as I'm running and swinging. I want to make sure the stance leg, the other side, is extended when it comes down. So I have to really emphasize that I'm not coming down into a flex position at the hip. I'm switching and boom, extending that hip as soon as it comes down, and then I just add the lean. So once you have that, then let's do one over here first, then we'll put it all together. So this is the best wall that I have here, is my in-frame. Okay, good. So I'm gonna actually keep my entire body solid here. I'm just gonna lean forward slightly from the ankles. And what I wanna do is maintain this hip extension. This is working on what we were just talking about. And I'm just gonna get into my solid position here. Switch, switch, switch. And then I can eventually work on running. And right now, at first, I'm bouncing up and down a ton. Then we want to take that away a little bit. Maintain that solid position. And then try to work on running, staying extended through the hip as I land without a ton of up and down movement. So I want to not have my head come way up and down every time, but stay relatively stable. All right, now, we just did hopping on, we did skipping, right? 1, 2, and lean. Now I'm just gonna hop once on each foot. So here I am, rather than doing hop, hop, I just do 1, and then I lean forward. And hey, you're running. That's it. That's the whole thing. So if you can really apply that series, where we start here on 2 feet, lean forward, 1 foot, lean forward, 3 on each, 1, 2, 3, lean forward. Then I go to 2 on each. 1, 2. Lean forward. And then I can go to 1. 1, lean forward. When I start a run, every time I go for a run, when I start with exactly what I just did. And I'll just be on the sidewalk and I'll start with 1, 2, 3. And then I'll lean forward, go to 2, and then go to 1 and take off. And that always reminds me to stay extended, stay tight, and be bouncy with it. So that really, if you have good posture, which we talked about, if you have a good bounce, good elastic bounce at the bottom, staying relatively tight up top, and then you have a forward lean, and you're switching every time into a good landing position, you're running, and you're doing a good job. So as you get out and do that, you might find, wow, my calves get tired really fast. If that's happening to you, cut your distance back. Do those jump rope drills we talked about last time. Build up the resilience there, and I'll talk about some stuff how you can do in terms of recovery work and mobilization to make sure you're staying recovered with all those tissues in the lower body. But posture, bouncy, lean forward, those are the 3 things that kind of make up the mechanics of running. So those are really your core drills that you want to do, is the hopping, the leaning. Those things are things you're going to come back to almost every single time you go running. All right, that's all for today. We're going to come back next time. We're going to show a couple more drills about stability and really hammering home efficiency, and then we'll bring it home with a couple more after that. See you next time.